Hello everyone, and thanks for tuning in to this Fit 15 video with me, your coach Rob. Today we're going to be talking about thoracic mobility. So although today isn't going to be like an intense workout like some of the other videos have been, mobility is an important part of our wellness training, our fitness training, because it's going to help us move in better ways throughout our workouts. Today we're talking about thoracic mobility specifically. So what is thoracic mobility, or what does thoracic mean? Thoracic refers to a segment of your spine between the base of your neck to your low back. This is called the thoracic spine. There's 12 vertebrae that make up the thoracic spine. It's typically thought of as mid to upper back. So it's a segment that we see a lot of rounding, called kyphosis. When we get into this rounded position, I'm a perfect example of someone who could demonstrate kyphosis because I do have a little bit of it. My shoulders round forward a little, and I have a bit of rounded upper back sometimes when I'm in a static position. What causes this? Most commonly, sitting at a desk, typing on a computer, looking forward at your screen can cause kyphosis. So we want to work on thoracic mobility to help us extend through the thoracic spine and also allow us to rotate a little bit better through the thoracic spine in our activities of daily living and our fitness endeavors. So today we're going to work through a series of thoracic mobility exercises that will help your upper or your mid to upper back feel a little bit looser and maybe open you up a little bit more and decrease maybe some pain that you might be having even from sitting in this static position all day. So why don't we come down to our mat. We're going to start out on the mat with a variation of a cat-cow that we do often in the cool down, or even in some cases the warm-up or fitness classes. So from a kneeling position, first thing I want you to do is sit back towards your heels and then place your hands on the mat a little bit in front of your shoulders. So just a couple inches in front of your shoulders, so they're not right underneath, a little bit forward. From this position now, we're going to practice rounding and then arching our upper back. So starting with rounding, we're just bringing a little bit of movement into the area. Loosen up the fluid between the joints. So we're alternating here. I've done a couple of repetitions here between rounding the back. So imagine a string is pulling between the shoulder blades up to the ceiling, the chin drops in towards the chest, and then arching the back, lifting the head, looking forward, and depressing the chest. So here I'm thinking about pulling between the shoulder blades up to the ceiling. Here I'm thinking about dropping the chest, the rib cage towards the floor, and arching the back. All right, let's go through 2 more repetitions. This is a good mobility exercise to start with for thoracic spine because it just helps us wake it up a little bit if it's feeling stiff. One more time, rounding and arching. Okay, very good. Let's loosen up our ankles a little bit. You can see I've curled my toes under now because we're going to be in that same position again. I just don't want you to feel any discomfort or pain in your ankles. You can even bring your foot forward. Just loosen up the ankle a little bit. Okay, so with that last drill, we practiced flexion and extension thoracic spine. Another movement that it creates has a little bit of rotation. So we're going to work through mobilizing our rotation now. So from the same position, we're going to bring our left hand to start behind the ear, and then we're going to think about turning from the chest. That elbow is going to come down towards our right hand, and then we're going to try and open it up towards the ceiling. So we want to think about moving the arm, the chest, the trunk, all as one big piece here. Just rolling up towards the ceiling, opening up, and then coming back down. repetitions. If you notice here, my arm isn't bending to lead. My arm is staying out to the side of the shoulder, and it's the chest and spine that's rotating to bring that elbow down towards the floor. Let's do 2 more repetitions. Make sure you get nice, deep, steady breathing throughout. Okay, that finishes up one side. Now we're going to switch to the other side. So this time left hand is in contact with the mat, right hand behind the ear, rotate down, and open up. Now we also want to push into the mat with the hand that's pointed. So here I'm really setting up a nice stable base by pressing my left hand into the mat as the right side moves through that rotation. Don't force it to a point that's painful. You want to move to your limit where you feel that tension, and then use your breath to see if you can go a little bit beyond the point of tension. Let's do 2 more repetitions. Very good. Okay, carefully come back up to your feet. Feet might be a little bit numb from sitting in that position. Just work, get some blood into the feet a little bit. And let's check in a little bit. How does your back feel? Mine feels a little bit looser. Shoulders feel like they're set back a little bit better. That's good. Now we're gonna focus on another mobility exercise or stretch that's gonna loosen up the lats and help us with a little bit more extension, lifting our chest up. And for this, you're gonna need a chair. So if you don't have a chair handy, pause the video, go grab a chair, and it's gonna have to be a stable chair, so one without wheels or one that the wheels have the ability to lock. So here's my chair. I'm gonna set it up this way. Get a nice view of what I'm doing here. So I'm gonna come down onto my knees, and I'm gonna place my elbows up on the chair, towards the edge of the chair so that my head has space to drop. Hands are going to come together, and then I'm going to drop my head down between my elbows, and then I'm going to kind of work through a little bit of cat-cow with my mid to upper back, with the hands behind the head here. So I'm just going to practice rounding and then extending, dropping the chest, lifting up between the shoulder blades to round slightly. You're not going to get as much movement here, so the range of motion is going to be shorter, but you should still have the ability to round and then really stretch it out at the bottom, drop the chest. You'll probably feel a stretch down the side of your ribs. Rounding, dropping, rounding, dropping. Let's do this 3 more times. Stretching the lat, the muscle that runs, connects down the bottom of the rib cage here, stretches that out, and then just puts us in a little bit more extension, forces us into extension, which is kind of the opposite of what we drop into in that kyphotic position with the shoulders rolled forward and rounding the upper back. We want to extend, sit up out of that, rise up. That's it, we're done with the chair. Okay, we've got one more that I want to go through that involves rotation. And it also is a really nice mobility exercise for the shoulders too. You're gonna need a pillow or a foam roller, just something to put between your knees for this. It could be even like a yoga block or something, but just something to put between your knees. I'm gonna use a foam roller. For this, we're gonna be sidelined on the mat. So I want you to come down onto the mat, sideline. So the first thing you're gonna do is set up your legs 90 degrees out in front. You can move back, get a better view here. And then you're gonna put that pillow or that foam roller between your lower legs. And then lie on your side. Start with the hands together on top of one another. And then what we're gonna do is we're gonna draw a big circle with our hand overhead, all the way over to the other side. And then come back across. We'll move forward a little bit. So I have space to do it. But there's nothing happening with this foam roller if it drops out of the image, it's just between my legs. Big circle. You feel a really nice stretch in the chest when we open up like this. And then we're gonna come back across so the hands are above each other. Big circle again. Nice stretch for the chest again. Come back. We're gonna do 6 of these, so that's 5. And 6. Very good. Let's switch to the other side. So you can just roll over. I want to stay facing the camera, so I'm going to switch the ends of the mat that I'm working on. So sideline again. Hands on top of one another. And then we do a big circle, and notice how my sight line is following my hand to open up. And then come back. We're going to do 6 repetitions, that's 2. 4, big circle all the way until the shoulders are creating one line across the body and the arms are creating one line, like a T. And let's do one more repetition. Very good. Carefully come back up to standing. And we've got a couple minutes left, so I want to show you one more thing. If you have a foam roller, that is a fantastic thoracic mobility exercise. Foam roller is a great tool. Here's my little plug for getting yourself a foam roller. Now, we never want to foam roll the lower back, but we can definitely foam roll the thoracic segment. So from this position with our feet on the floor, we want to start just between the shoulder blades, or just below the shoulder blades. We can lift our butt up and gently just roll till we get just below the tips of the shoulder blades, and then come back up till we're about shoulder height. This is something you can do right at the beginning too, just to warm up. Then we can also pause and then just work on our extension by dropping the butt back to the floor and then work on extending back over the foam roller and holding this position. And then the more advanced variation is actually reaching up and back. You might feel a little bit of a strain on the neck, but that's okay, because activating and working these neck flexors can help us with our forward head posture as well. We hold that for a few seconds and come back up. So I just wanted to throw that one in there in case you had a foam roller. I'm going to spend too much time on it. And there you have it. 4, 5 if you want to include your foam roller exercise. 4 simple mobility drills to help with thoracic mobility and help get us out of this, or this, and into this, where we want to be. Alright, I hope you enjoyed this. I hope it was useful. Have a good rest of your day. We'll see you in the next video.